Good afternoon. It is Sunday, May 7th, and I am Dee Peterson, your adjunct professor for EDU 515 Instructional Leadership. I have been teaching online now for about a year, but the other classes that I've been teaching have been first courses for new cohorts. So I'm interested in hearing from you where you are in the process of completing your degree. So maybe a couple of you can let me know which class number this is for you so I can kind of get an idea where you are in the process. As I said, I've been teaching for Concordia for about 9 years. I've taught most of the classes in your program face-to-face, and this will be my second online course that I've taught. I have been teaching for about 29 years, and currently I work for Orange Unified School District as the district director for Avid Elementary. I also work for the curriculum department and do a lot of training and working with teachers. And in addition to Concordia, I'm also a very part-time trainer for Thinking Maps, but that's one of my loves. So if you're familiar with that, you'll probably understand why I love it so much. So I look forward to hearing about each one of you. That will be your discussion board number 1 this coming week. Will be to introduce yourselves, give a personal biography, a little bit about you personally, professionally, and academically, and your experience in education, including your current assignment, and additionally an example of how a leader you have known has modeled the way for you, either personally or professionally. So that will be your first discussion board assignment for this week. I put some information about me on the Blackboard site under Meet Your Instructor, so if you want to know any more about me, you are welcome to see that there. This course description is as follows. The course combines the important theories of educational leadership with the theories of transformational leadership. This course also examines the context of change as it impacts society and its schools, determines leadership qualities and skills necessary for creating successful and enduring change in schools, as well as explores the culture and politics of change as it relates to various members of the school community, including all stakeholders such as administrators, students, teachers, parents, and community members. And it also develops effective strategies for marketing, managing, implementing, and integrating change. So that's what we will be looking at over the course of the next 8 weeks. I want to begin tonight by talking a little bit about the discussion board rubric and the requirements. You may be completely familiar with this. I don't know what other professors see as important. I do use the rubric to score these. So if you are not familiar with the rubric, I do need you to take a look at that. It is online. You are expected to, just trying to find it here in my pile, you are expected to post your initial post by Thursday of each week. So this week you'll be posting your responses to discussion board 1 and discussion board 2 by Thursday, and then you are required to post at least to respond to at least 2 of your peers. And the way I look at these, I see your initial post and I can see each of the posts that you have responded to. One of the things that I noticed in the other courses that I have taught is that they did not include a scholarly reference. So make sure as you're responding, except for the first one that's personal about you, you will be required to cite either and something from the text reading of that week or from the videos or additional readings that you're given. And you must make citations, in-text citations, for those entries. And then as well, you should have an APA reference at the bottom of the page. And that APA reference at the bottom of your discussion board posting will look exactly like an entry on the reference page. So if you're not familiar with what that looks like, go back to the APA references or resources, that are on Blackboard to refresh your memory. If you have any questions about it, you can always call or email me. My email and my cell number are both on the syllabus and on the website, so please feel free to call me if you have questions. So I do use that rubric for your 10-point postings each week on the discussion board. So I already talked about the first discussion board, which is about you, and I love reading those. I love getting to know you a little bit through what you write. Your discussion board 2 for this week is to identify a leader who has had a positive impact on you. What were the leader's skills, traits, and or characteristics which you believe contributed to the success of this leader and or his or her people? So it doesn't have to be a leader within education. It doesn't maybe even have to be someone you know. It just is a leader who has had a positive impact on you. So I'll let you ponder that idea. That will be your second discussion board posting. If you use any information from the text, which I certainly hope you will, or from your articles that you're going to be reading this week, you might find some of those characteristics of that person listed within those resources, and so that would be what you would cite and put for your reference. You have a lot of reading to do this week. You are assigned 3 chapters, 1 through 3, in your textbook. This is what your text looks like. You can see that. The Leadership Challenge, I believe it comes in paperback as well as hardback. And as I said, you're reading chapters 1, 2, and 3. So I would get started on this right away. There are 3 articles posted on Blackboard. One of them is called Transformational versus Transactional Leadership Theories. And since the purpose of this course is to really look at transformational leadership, I think that article is a really important one for you to read. As I read through it, I saw a definition of transformational leader, and I'm going to give that to you so that we're all on the same page. Transformational leader is one who stimulates and inspires followers to achieve extraordinary outcomes. So that's a really higher level definition of what we commonly think about as leaders. But I want to be clear about what we're referring to here as transformational leaders. This is in not opposite, but very different from the transactional leaders or the traditional type of leadership in which we're used to working with. And transactional leaders are those who focus on the role of supervision, organization, and group performance, often by promoting compliance of this to their followers through both rewards and punishment. So both of these leadership definitions might bring to mind some principals that you've worked with or some people that you've come across in other fields. I hope more the transformational than the transactional. Also, there is a comparison chart of these 2 types of leaders within that article, so I would really encourage you to look at that. There's a second article on the effects of leadership style on the learning motivations of students themselves, and lastly, the leadership that teachers want from their principals. That could be real interesting. See how much of that you agree with, and if that brings to mind anything that might prompt a response for your discussion board too. Lastly, we're going to talk about the assignment that is due this next week. This is your NIH application. This is a piece that you need before you start your capstone. And so they apparently embedded in the coursework now. When I taught the capstone, we did it at that time, but it's nice to have this done and out of the way. So you're going to go through this course. There's a link online. The NIH is the National Institute of Health, and what this has to do with is it's providing training that makes you aware of the minimal levels of ethical and research knowledge that you'll need later in your course. It has to do with how you can treat your research subjects, because all of you will be working with students in your capstone project, and you need to have this clearance and this knowledge of what that means. So it does say online that you need to allow up to 3 hours to complete this training, and your assignment completion will simply be a posting of your NIH training certificate. So make sure that you start on that early this week and that you get that done, and then it'll be out of the way before you hit that capstone project. Okay, that's really about all I have for you tonight. I usually try and do 10 to 15 minutes on Sunday evenings, or occasionally Monday evenings, to kind of front load you with what's coming for the week, some additional resources if I have them. This course is heavy in reading. There are a lot of articles assigned every week. So I probably won't be adding to your reading. I'll probably leave you with the ones that are already posted, but sometimes I try and scan through them and give you a little heads up about what they are, what the videos are, how long the videos are, so you can kind of plan out your week. I do need to stress to you to make sure your assignments are in on time. I try and get everything read during the week, and I try and respond to at least half of you each week. That doesn't always happen, but hopefully I will do that more consistently. And as I said when I began, if you have any questions about the course, if you have any questions about the assignments, please, please, please feel free to call me or email me, and I will be happy to answer those for you. I usually check my emails at least once a day. So if you should email me about something pressing and I have not responded in the time frame that you need, feel free to call me. I pretty much am available 24/7 on my phone. So with that being said, I hope you all have a great start to this new term, and that you enjoy the information that you'll be learning this week, and that you'll have some practical applications for it in your current assignment as teachers. So have a good week, and I will talk to you next week.